Okay, so today I will be showing you guys how I made $1,500 trading US30 Dow Jones New York session. New York session open. Today was pretty slow. Today's a bank holiday, US holiday today. Oh, and before I get started, just to show you guys today's P&L is 1,500. I would consider today to be a break-even day for me. I originally took a not so great entry at the beginning of the market open. Today was very slow. It wasn't super sporadic and volatile. I ended up taking a short buy here. I expected market to take sells to the downside, but I took my sell too early. I just was not respecting this volume zone down here. We want to wait until price gets to breaking these lowest major forms of resistance. That was a rookie mistake by me. This is the reason why today was a break-even day. We just have to clean up these, making sure that you guys are just only being patient traders. Patience and persistence as a trader will make you more money than you being impatient and just trying to predict the market. Even if you're right, you trying to predict the market will still lose you money versus you respecting your systems and respecting these major volumes, these volume zones here. This is the lowest volume point at the beginning of the last session. Unless we're talking down here, this was the last lowest point of resistance, but this wouldn't make any sense because we would need to sell back to the downside anyways. So after I took the sell, hit stop loss, waited patiently, relax, calm down, right? When I saw price break this zone here, I took the sell to the downside. Now, one rule that I have personally is if price breaks a resistance, a major form of resistance, the way that it's supposed to, and it gives you the great rejection back to the downside, this is a great sell to the downside. If price comes down 20 to 25 pips, which price came down 25 pips, right? When price comes down 20 to 25 pips and then does like this major reversal back to break even, I close. And the reason why I close at break even is because if price has given you a confirmation of a break of major resistance and it gives you another entry candle to the downside and gives you a great flow to the downside, but for some reason it stops at like 25 pips, 20, 25, maybe 30 pips, and then reverses all the way back to break even, what that means is that there is some resistance level or some form of resistance that we've hit here that we don't currently see. If we come back here and we zoom out a little bit more, we can see that we've actually hit off that sell. We've actually hit a trend line, an invisible trend line that we don't see. Right? If I come up to the 5 minute, we've hit a trend line that we didn't immediately see. Okay? So not every single time that these, breaks and resistances, they happen, does that mean that, oh, it's just going to flow all the way down 100 pips, break this resistance zone down here and flow 1,500 pips. I know a lot of you New York US traders, US30, Dow Jones, NASDAQ, gold, all you guys love to, you know what I mean? Because you would have been like, okay, it did it right here, right? It did it over here when it broke to the downside and it flowed all the way down for 70, 80 pips. It's going to do the same thing here. It doesn't always mean that, okay? And you got to be aware of market conditions and when they're changing, right? If price gave you a perfect entry to the downside, right, and your market's flowing down the way that it's supposed to, is doing everything that it's supposed to, and then it just stops it's usually around 25 pips. I've noticed, I've been doing this strategy for a minute, and it's usually around 25 pips from the entry resistance. It depends on where you got in. You might have got in up here. Okay, cool. It'll still be like around 25, again, 25, 30 pips, or it'll be around, if you got in up here, it'll be around 20 pips. But it'll be 20. As soon as you get to 20 pips in profit, set your stop loss to break even. Because if price ever comes down beautifully the way that it's supposed to, and it's just like flowing and just reverses all the way back like this, there's some form of resistance that you hit, right, that you don't immediately see. So just close that break even and just wait for the next entry. Now I was able to take the buy back to the upside because it broke through this volume zone again beautifully, and it closed perfectly above the volume zone here, back above the volume zone, and I took the buy to the upside. Price went all the way up. I closed out at about 40 pips, and I made 1,500 for today. But that's 40 pips minus 25 that I lost on the trade where I was being impatient. But this is what I'm saying, like, you know, patience and persistence in entering in only on confirmed trades will literally make you the most money long term than you just trying to predict the market, right? So this is what I'm trying to say, right? So for example, right, and this is outside of my trading time right now, but if price were to fall back to through this resistance zone here, you could take sells back to the downside again, right? You just have to make sure that this is confirmed, like it's already tapping the same major resistance that it wants to try and break through. And when it closes through here or through this resistance here, closes through here, you can take sells back to the downside. But today was a pretty good day. Mostly the main thing for today that I want to teach, regardless, like the execution is the easiest part, right? But that's the thing. The execution is the easiest part. A lot of you guys, even myself, like even myself, it's, you guys have to understand that we want to wait for price to break the major highs and the major lows. We don't want to try and get in here where the market is still like in the middle on here, because there's a high chance that market can reverse on you and you can get reversed on. So we want to wait until price is breaking these major highs and these major lows before we get into our positions, and we're just making it super clean. We're being patient, and price only has two options: it's either to go to our take profit or to go to our stop loss.